Welcome bakers, I'm Robin and this is another episode of Take Two Bakes. Let me start off by saying sorry about last week. I was busy in the Bahamas, but don't think I forgot about y'all. I had breads, cookies, cakes, everything just running around in my head. So I got to come home and really do a lot of experimenting. But then I started thinking, when I first started baking, all I had was all-purpose flour, which I thought that's all you ever used. But not the case. I know in a couple of videos you see me use some different kinds of flour, so I wanted to just kind of give you the rundown on the 4 most popular flours that I use, but please, there's an array of different flours. So let's go ahead and get into it. So here's the 4 different kinds of flour that I use all the time. Here's that all-purpose flour, remember the one that I thought that I needed and that was all that I needed and boy was I wrong. Well, this is it right here. And this one is really great if you're going to be making pie crust or a roux for gravy or a creamy sauce. Then we have our bread flour. We have our self-rising flour, which is great for biscuits, muffins, things like that. Cake flour, I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And can you just see the difference in the cake flour and then that all-purpose flour? It's a lot wider, a lot chunkier. So the difference in all the different flours is really the protein content in each one of them. Whereas like for instance your bread flour has 10 to 14% protein and then your all-purpose has about 10 to 12% protein. So I do have a quick little hack if you don't have your self-rising flour or your bread flour. Hack number 1, self-rising flour. All you're going to need is 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and then you need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Mix that together. Go ahead and sift it really good so everything gets distributed, and then boom, you have your self-rising flour. Hack number 2, bread flour. You're going to take 2 level tablespoons of cornstarch, put it in a cup, fill the rest of that cup up with all-purpose flour, and then boom, there's 1 cup of bread flour for you. You guys, thanks for showing up for this episode of Take Two Bakes. I know it was more informative and not a lot of baking, but it's really the star of the show is going to be your flour. So don't forget, like the video, leave a comment, and don't forget, subscribe!